Hi guys, we're back. 58 Nomad, episode 10, weekend edition. On this episode, I'm going to redo my floor that's already done. I'm going to give it enough clearance to bring up the transmission about an inch. The pan's hanging too dang low, and it's been driving me crazy ever since. So I'm going to cut the floor, build a trans tunnel, cut off my brackets I just put on there in the last episode, move everything up an inch, re-dynamat, and sleep better at night. The problem is when I air this thing out, it's gonna hit the pan, and that can't be happening, so I just gotta do it, you know? Yeah, going backwards again, but it's the right thing to do. So let me see if I can show you guys. It might be kind of hard to see, but right back there, under the exhaust, the pan's hanging down about an inch, so awesome. But it looks like I did a witness hole right there, that little 1/8 inch guy, and it's well in front of the seat, so that's good. I don't have to mess with the seat at all. But just behind the shifter, I need to bring that out a little bit and roll it, bring up so it clears all the tail shaft and stuff. I got plenty of room for driveline and yoke in there. I really just need about an inch. Unfortunately, I got to scrape up all the dynamat, which is never easy, but that's what I get, I guess. Oh well. I swear it fit before, but anyway, let's get to it. Alright guys, got the old dynamat scraped off. The old new dynamat. Anyway, started doing it by hand in a heat gun, and then quickly went to pneumatic impact there. Much faster. I highly recommend it. So this area here, you can see the old stuff here that I patched in before to clear the shifter and all that stuff. I'm going to come off of this high side here and bring it out to probably about here. So we'll just continue this dome out here, and I might be able to just cut this one out and work it in the wheel or planishing hammer and then put it back in there. Probably not, so but I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna cut this one out. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stare at it for a bit. I'll be right back. All right guys, decided to make a template out of cardboard, just using chipboard again. Rough shape before I cut out the floor. Wrapping it around, I have about 3/4 of an inch through my little hole there, I can see. I'm gonna give it a little bit of shape, so that I'll add to it. I'll add some length at the sides, make it a little more symmetrical. But I just wanted to see what's going on. So I'm going to transfer this to metal, clean it up a little bit, and then start shaping it. All right guys, got some sheet metal cut out here. I went with the 22 gauge here. It's a little easier to shape. The 18 does fine. Anyway, so got our crude cardboard template. I'm going to lay this sucker on here, straighten out some things, add some things, and cut it out of here and start shaping it. Then once I got it sitting on top of that tunnel over there, I'll mark the floor, cut it out inside the lines, and then I'll move to moving the transmission up where it needs to go. That way I can double check that we got enough clearance after we shape this stuff. So let's get to it. Alright guys, I got done hitting a piece of sheet metal with the planishing hammer. I just ran it through the English wheel to help smooth it out a little bit. You can see how it's kind of blistered up, and that's what we want for clearance. So I'm going to fit this to the car and see what else I need to trim or form or whatever to get me the clearance I need to raise that tranny up. Then we will cut out the floor, I guess, and raise that transmission up, double check it, and yeah. I guess we get cutting. All right guys, I got the panel crudely trimmed, I guess, to fit. This will all form down, and I can do the final shaping once I get the tunnel in place and notch for the shifter again. Yeah, everything pushes down pretty good. So I'm gonna throw some Clecos in it and then mark out the inside line there, cut that out, and then we'll lift this transmission up and see what we got for clearances. Panel Clecoed in, roughed in, clamped. I'm gonna pull it out of there, trace out an inner line, cut that out so we can see the transmission, and then bring her up. And then hopefully with this bump in here, we'll have enough clearances underneath there. Should be good to go. If not, now's the time, raise it up and be done with this again. Alright guys, here we are. Transmission's tunnels cut out. I still look like I got a bunch of clearance issues up here too, so that's kind of a bummer, but yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably be extending this forward basically in a nutshell, but I think what I'm going to do is get this Dynamat off of this forward portion here, and then I'll be able to expose this a little bit better. I think realistically I need to extend this forward, so either I'll make a fresh panel from scratch all one, which it won't be too bad at this point, but I think what I'm going to do is get this stuff out of the way again, and then move down and move this transmission up and make sure we got enough clearance. I only want to do this twice, so, and while I'm at it, I might take this shifter and move it back to this next notch as well. It works in here, but it's close, and I think if this transmission tilts up that I'm going to lose clearance through here, so probably should address that as well. We got room now. Holy moly. So you can see the old trans cross member, the old new trans cross member. I'm going to do that for a third time, but ultimately get this thing up where it needs to be. I am going to move these back a notch, give me more clearance, move this back. We'll have to extend that rod there, but no biggie. A lot better now than later, so let's take care of that now. All right, I got the shifter out. I am going to move it back while it's out. And I think you know probably what I'm up to now. The longer I stare at this thing, you know, with the last video, found a bunch of sludge and the oil was burned and there was no filter on it. Kind of strange. Probably should just yank this transmission out, get it taken care of, and get it put back in here one last time. But for now, I will move forward and get this thing jacked up, get the mounts, get everything fit basically, and then I'll go ahead and just yank it out. I do have another transmission from the engine that I had in here originally, and hey, the last video cut off a little bit, but in short, I'm going to take the transmission that was with the 5.3 truck motor that was in this thing originally. I'm going to pull that off. It's already been rebuilt, and swap it out with this one. I mean, I got to quit messing around on this thing and just get it done. And then I'll get this one rebuilt so it'll be ready for the next one. I'm going to get this mount moved up and transmission out, I think will be the next step. All right, bottom side, looking up. I'm going to pull this bolt out, jack this transmission up here, and see what we got for clearances. So I just put these brackets in. Those got to get cut out again. Awesome. But hey, now I got templates, so you know it'll go quicker this time, I promise. So yeah, we're gonna take it up about an inch, and that should be enough for me to clear here. It looks like the muffler hang down just a little bit too, but I'd rather that all clip before this transmission goes here. So as you can see, yeah, about an inch. Maybe more, we'll see. but let's take it up. All right guys, kind of hard to see, but I got it up about 3/4 of an inch through here. Up here where the yoke spins, it's getting really close to this 4 cross member here. So if I want to go any higher on that one, I'm gonna have to notch it. Not out of the question either. It is a lot better if you look down. That'll probably keep me out of trouble, but yeah, I don't know. I think what I'm going to end up doing is notching that cross member piece out a little bit there so I get a little more clearance. And if I can go up, you know, 1/2 inch more, I think I'll feel pretty good about that. All right guys, snowball update on the wagon. I got this thing set up, transmission up high enough to where everything's gonna work. I called my transmission guy and he's down to get this thing slammed out and rebuilt so I don't have to rob the one off my other mock-up or my other LS motor, whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna yank this sucker out right now and get it to him. Let's get this thing out. All right guys, so yeah, transmission's out. Really didn't look too bad. It's pretty clean. Let that be a lesson. It's hard to tell without tearing the pan off and having a look-see inside, but I got a hold of the transmission guy. He's gonna come by and pick this up here shortly. I'm gonna take a couple things off it, trans mount. I have the low car shifter, a little bushing for it. I'm gonna get those out of there, make sure they make it back. So yeah, put those in a safe place where I'll lose it for sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna get this thing stripped down and ready for him to take. That's normal, right? Get everything put together and then find out transmission's bad. I knew it last week and it was killing me, so now this is happening. And I got a bonus massive transmission tunnel hole here. That's not so bad. A little bummer going backwards, but at the end of the day, transmissions are important. So I also cut the exhaust here too. So when I roll this motor up, the exhaust is gonna change a little bit. So I might have to make those lead-in tubes right there. But it was putting the exhaust too much of a bind also. I'll redo these transmission mounts, put in a floor, dynamat. Transmission's pulled out, it's ready to go back, get rebuilt. Like I said, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, visually speaking from the outside, pretty clean. It's what's on the inside that counts is what I hear. Hope you guys enjoyed that little struggle. That was interesting. Next time, hopefully I'll get a transmission back. We'll shape that transmission floor again. We'll make it bigger, one piece, I think. Get that transmission reinstalled, getting it set up correctly where it should be in the first place, and check that off the list. Sometimes you gotta do them twice. With me, I'm always trying to save a little money here and there and just try to get it done, and that usually comes back around. Anyway guys, till next time, thanks for joining. And look forward to seeing you next time with a fresh transmission.